Stop eating the flesh. Stop killing for food. Stop eating the fish. This will help restore the balance of both the ocean and land immediately. Fish are God's creations that we should also care for, respect, protect, not to eat. We should be looking for ways to help the fish, to protect them and all the marine life from the devastating effects of climate change. Once we start thinking in this way, we are in a better position for ourselves, for the fish, and for the planet.
Let us watch on to find out more.
Supreme Master Ching Hai's lectures are not a complete meditation instruction. Please do not try alone. For free of charge guidance, please visit godsdirectcontact.org or contact any of our centers near you.
Today's episode will be presented in English with subtitles in Arabic, Aulacese, also known as Vietnamese, Bulgarian, Chinese, Croatian, Czech, English, French, German, Hindi, Hungarian, Indonesian, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Malay, Mongolian, Persian, Polish, Portuguese, Punjabi, Russian, Sinhalese, Spanish, and Thai.
Xin gửi lời chào nồng nhiệt đến quý khán giả yêu hòa bình. Tôi là Yến Trang, đến từ vùng cao nguyên tĩnh lặng tại quốc gia Âu Lạc, còn được biết là Việt Nam. Quốc gia Âu Lạc Mỹ Miều là sự tổng hòa từ 54 dân tộc anh em và cộng đồng người Mèo luôn là một phần của tổng thể quốc gia Âu Lạc, góp phần làm phong phú văn hóa dân tộc Âu Lạc, Việt Nam. Dân tộc Mèo được biết đến với nền văn hóa phong phú, độc đáo và giàu bản sắc, đặc biệt chú trọng vào đời sống tinh thần đa dạng. Người Mèo đã thể hiện tâm hồn tự do tràn đầy sức sống cùng sự tài hoa của họ qua những bộ trang phục truyền thống xinh đẹp, độc đáo, cùng màu sắc tươi tắn, sinh động. Với tinh thần lao động cần cù và sáng tạo, người Mèo đã tạo nên những ruộng lúa bậc thang nằm trải dài trên các sườn đồi. Bức tranh thửa ruộng bậc thang đặc sắc của người Mèo đã trở thành những tác phẩm nghệ thuật khiến bạn bè trong và ngoài nước thán phục. Dân tộc Mèo chúng tôi xin chúc quý khán giả thánh thiện luôn nhận được nhiều niềm vui qua lễ hội ruộng bậc thang vào mùa lúa chín của dân tộc Mèo. Thật hân hạnh giới thiệu đến quý vị đôi nét về quốc gia Âu Lạc, Việt Nam mến thương của chúng tôi. Kính chúc tháng ngày của quý vị tràn đầy tình thương hoàn mỹ của Thượng Đế. Trong hơn 3 thập niên, Thanh Hải Vô Thượng Sư đã soi sáng thế giới bằng giáo lý thiêng liêng. Là một vị minh sư toàn giác, Ngài truyền đạt pháp môn Quán Âm cho những ai khao khát tức khắc tìm lại Thượng Đế tánh bên trong, hầu đạt được giải thoát vĩnh hằng trong kiếp này, khỏi vòng sinh tử luân hồi. Pháp môn Quán Âm đã được tu tập bởi tất cả các vị minh sư như Đức Phật, Chúa Giêsu, nhà tiên tri Mohammed, hòa bình đến với Ngài, và đạo sư Nanak. Ngài đã nhấn mạnh nếu chúng ta luôn tưởng nhớ Thượng Đế, phục vụ tha nhân một cách vô ngã và tuân theo luật vũ trụ, chúng ta sẽ đạt được tiềm năng tối thượng của con người và thật sự hiểu được mục đích của mình trên địa cầu này. Thanh Hải Vô Thượng Sư là một tấm gương sống phi thường về lòng từ bi. Ngài thường xuyên cứu trợ bằng hiện vật và tài chính, đồng thời gửi gắm tình thương cho những người tị nạn, vô gia cư, nạn nhân thiên tai và những người cần được trợ giúp khác. Vào năm 2006, Ngài đã nhận giải Gucci Hòa Bình, được xem như giải Nobel Hòa Bình ở phương Đông, và được vinh danh suốt nhiều năm với rất nhiều giải thưởng khác, cùng những lời ngợi ca về hoạt động nhân đạo và thiện nguyện tuyệt vời của Ngài. Là tiếng nói chân thành cho các bạn thú xinh đẹp, Ngài khuyến khích lối dinh dưỡng thuần thực vật, hòa bình và bác ái, và những viễn cảnh tươi sáng với sự thức tỉnh của nhân loại về sự thiêng liêng của muôn loài. Một thế giới thuần chay bình yên và huy hoàng nơi các bạn thú và con người sống trong hạnh phúc hòa hợp. Những sáng kiến của Ngài nhằm phổ biến xu hướng thuần chay rất đa dạng, bao gồm phân phát tờ rơi lối sống mới, chuỗi nhà hàng thuần chay quốc tế Loving Hut, truyền hình vô thượng sư, cũng như trao đổi thường xuyên với quan chức chính phủ có tầm ảnh hưởng và nhà lãnh đạo giới truyền thông, cũng như tham gia các buổi hội thảo truyền hình về nhận thức của chúng ta đối với biến đổi khí hậu. Những nỗ lực của Ngài đã mang lại ảnh hưởng to lớn tới nhận thức toàn cầu về lối sống thân thiện với các bạn thú và làm sao lối sống từ ái này có thể mang đến hòa bình trường tồn giữa các quốc gia, đồng thời cứu địa cầu khỏi nạn biến đổi khí hậu. Qua nhiều năm, Thanh Hải Vô Thượng Sư đã du hành khắp thế giới, từ châu Mỹ đến châu Phi, từ châu Âu đến châu Đại Dương, và đã tổ chức hàng trăm buổi thuyết giảng trước công chúng cùng các đệ tử về nhiều chủ đề tâm linh. Hôm nay, chúng tôi hân hạnh được trình chiếu một trong những bài thuyết giảng sâu sắc với tựa đề Cứu địa cầu, ngưng sản xuất thịt, trích đoạn các buổi thảo luận của Ngài Thanh Hải Vô Thượng Sư, phần 1 của 3 phần trên giữa thầy và trò, được giảng bằng tiếng Anh.
You heard an interview with Professor Kirk Smith at the University of California at Berkeley in the US, who said reducing methane would buy us critical time in the fight against climate change. He also said that livestock were the greatest human-caused source of methane and suggested government tax meat to reduce consumption. Supreme Master, can you please help us to understand how reducing human-caused methane will cool the planet faster than reducing CO2?
Scientifically speaking, methane ends its effect much faster than CO2, yeah? And its warming potential is greater than CO2. So if the methane is gone out, then we cool the planet quicker. And the methane dissipates out of the atmosphere in 9 to 15 years, but the CO2 lingers for an estimated range of 40 to 200 years. So because methane goes out faster and heats up the climate more, so if it goes out, then the Earth cools more and quicker compared to CO2 effect. So some intergovernmental panel on climate change scientists say that eliminating livestock farming would be the fastest way to bring down methane and cool the planet, thus buying critical time, in the fight against global warming, as they said. So in an interview with the Supreme Master TV, Dr. Kirk Smith stated that the CO2 emissions could still be hitting the planet 1,000 years after they are emitted. Can you imagine? So if we want to see the cooling of our planet in the next 1 or 2 decades, it's more effective to reduce methane first. And because the greatest source of methane on the planet is from livestock, so to be a vegan is the fastest way to reduce methane, thus bring cooling to the planet successfully and fast.
Thank you so much for your work. And here in Southern California, there's a drought currently, and talking about water rationing. And what do the experts in the interviews have to say?
The expert told us a lot of things, yes. They say that California right now is headed toward the worst drought in California recorded history, the worst drought they're heading to. The Sierra Nevada mountains, which supply much of the rest of California's water, is supplying now 61% of the usual amount in this past winter season. Winter season even. We're not talking about summer yet, when it's dry. California produces 50% of fruit, vegetables, and nuts that are grown in the United States. But the U.S. government has announced that farmers will not be able to buy any water from the state. Imagine this. They supply 50% of your fruit and vegetable, but now they're not able to buy any water from the state. And their state is in the drought predicament because the main source of water for farmer is expected to go dry this year. Greenhouse gases are causing deserts to expand in California. Elsewhere as well, but now we just zoom in on California, yeah? Moreover, 2 of the largest man-made lakes in the U.S., Lake Mead and Lake Powell, will be dry in the next decade, 2021. These lakes and the Colorado River system that fills them provide water to nearly 8% of the U.S. population. Now they're drying. They'll be completely dry soon. So, picture all this, see? Stockholm International Water Institute states that 70% of water is used by agriculture. Of that amount, a lot of it is going into planting corn and soy, and that is to feed animals, not humans. That's why we short of water, short of food. It's a waste of precious food, not just our precious water as well. The experts also calculate that 1 kilogram of beef takes 5,000 to 20,000 liters of water to produce, but 1 kilogram of wheat takes only 500 to 2,000 liters of water. That is 1/10, 10% of the amount of water for meat, you see? At a time when we have water shortage and all the reservoirs are dwindling at such an alarming rate, we are truly afraid that even if we don't take a shower at all, it will not do much help. Because all the human uses and everything come together is only 30% of water around the world. Everything else mostly used for meat industry, 70% of it. You see that? So even if you and I go ascetic, we don't even wash clothes. We go like the Himalaya yogis, the one who doesn't wear clothes, and we don't wash ourselves. We put ash on our body forever. It won't help the planet. Meat industry should be cut. That will help the planet. That will help to reserve our water, to refuel our lakes and our river again. That is physically and scientifically speaking. I'm not talking about the merit, the bad karmic contribution that we are doing to ourselves by harming others and torturing animals and killing them just to save our stomach. Okay? On the other hand, if we forego 1 pound of beef, we can save more water than we stop showering for half a year. Just don't eat 4 hamburgers, and you can shower half a year every day, generously. Can you imagine the big difference like that? So if we really want to save the water for the world to be able to use for our daily necessity, not to talk about future generations, then we have to change to a vegetarian diet, animal-free diet. Animal industry must be out. That's it. Thank you. Fishing contributes to global warming primarily by disturbing the complex ecosystems of the world's oceans. Balanced marine ecosystems are extremely important, as more than 2/3 of the planet is covered by oceans. They provide half of the world's oxygen and play a major part in regulating the global climate. So life on Earth truly depends very much on the ocean for survival. In addition, oceans also absorb atmospheric CO2, carbon dioxide, which directly helps to cool our planet. These are just a few among the great things that the oceans do. To disturb the balance of the seas, thus ultimately places our own lives in danger. So we could say that it is in our interest to care for the oceans if we want to survive, and all the life that they contain, including fish. Fish farms are like on-land factory farms. They have similar problems environmentally, with impact that includes polluting the bodies of waters. The farmed fish are contained in big netted areas of the ocean shore with uneaten food, fish waste, antibiotics, or other drugs and chemicals that pass into the surrounding waters, where they harm our ecosystems and polluted our drinking source. Depleting wild fish stocks. Also, fish like salmon that are eaten by humans are usually fed huge amounts of other fishes like anchovies. Studies have found that for every kilo of salmon that is sold in a supermarket, 4 kilos of wild fish have to be caught to feed the salmon. This practice also endangers sea animals, like sea lions and birds that are thought to be a threat, are often harassed with firecrackers or loud underwater speakers, causing pain, disorientation, and hearing loss. To marine mammals and others are often even shot dead. These are just a few of the problems associated with fish farming, which have become bigger as the fishing has increased. So the issues arising from related industries like the production of food for salmon have also been on the rise. In Peru, for example, fish food is made from anchovies, which causes illness for the adults who are closely involved in its production, as well as asthma and skin disease in young children from the toxic smoke that pours out onto the streets from the factories, along with pollution to the nearby ocean waters, of course. This fish production also affects bird population, with some like the guano bird having declined by 90% in number. So the result is that consumers can buy cheap fish, but it comes with a very heavy, expensive cost to our children's health and a degraded environment. Meanwhile, if we say that the ocean ecosystems are dependent on fish populations to be balanced, then those ecosystems are extremely imbalanced right now. Scientists estimate that more than 90% of the ocean's big fish have disappeared over the last 50 years due to commercial fishing. They warned that at the present rate of fishing, there will be a global collapse of all species being fished by 2050, and say that recovery efforts need to be started immediately. So what we are seeing from these fish and marine life are signs of distress. And from the oceans themselves, we are seeing other signs such as warming temperatures, rising sea levels, increasing acidification, and terrible levels of pollution. So global warming is affecting the oceans, which in turn is affecting the fish. This is an equally urgent situation as the one presented by livestock industry. And it has the exact same solution. Stop eating the flesh. Stop killing for food. Stop eating the fish. This will help restore the balance of both the ocean and land immediately. Fish are God's creations that we should also care for, respect, protect, not to eat. We should be looking for ways to help the fish, to protect them and all the marine life from the devastating effects of climate change. Once we start thinking in this way, we are in a better position for ourselves, for the fish, and for the planet. Thank you.
Are the recent disasters around the world somehow connected with the billions of animals slaughtered every year for human consumption?
Of course it is, huh? As you sow, so shall you reap, and like attract like, né? Scientifically speaking, spiritually speaking, we have been warned. So all the disasters that have happened around the world, of course, are connected with the human unkindness to the co-inhabitants. That was the price we have to pay for what we have done to the innocents, who have done us no harm, who are also the children of God, who has been sent to earth to help us and to cheer our days. Because generally, humans also have very good merit before they came to earth. And that's why they became human, because of their good merit. So from their good merit, there have been a give and take and deduction and addition. Otherwise, if things have not been canceling out some of the bad retribution, then it would have been worse. Or the earth might have been disappeared altogether already. But luckily, the humans also do have some good merit, and they have not run out yet. Some of their good merit have not run out yet. And that's why we are still hanging in here. Like yesterday, I told one of my assistants, I said, we should feel very lucky that we here, still have water to drink. Oh my God, many countries in the world are short of water. Do you understand this? Just a basic thing. Nothing luxury, water. Keep getting shorter and shorter every day. Can you imagine Some people go even 10 plus kilometers every day just to get water to bring it back to their family. Truly it's like that. In Africa, many countries are like that. And now in India and China, even America, many places became short of water. Basic necessity only. Why? Because they use up all the water from the river to divert it into, big farm factory, like animal farm factory. They have to use a lot of water to give the animals to drink. And then use water to grow the crops for the animals to eat. And when they kill the animals, or before they kill the animal, they have to use water to clean their pens every day and wash it down into the stream. And when they kill the animals, they need a lot of water to clean up also. And when people eat it at home, they also use water again to clean it and to cook it. So there's no end. There was enough water for all of us, plus over for everyone. We began this industry of meat diet. Then everything get worse. More hospital, more medicine, more sickness, more shortage of any kind, more temperature rise, and more suffering, more disasters, more hunger, more war. I said killing is never right. Yes. I have told the journalist, I wish I could say otherwise. That would make me even more popular. I told him, meat is one of the most powerful industries in every country. If I have not forbid you to eat meat, I would have had more disciples. Easy. We can't. I say the truth cannot be altered, no matter what. I said to him, I put myself even in danger, telling the truth. But I have to save my planet. I don't know if you want to save your planet, but I want to save my planet. I want to save my people. I don't know if you want to save your people. I want to save my people. My people is whom? It's you, your relatives, your friends, your countrymen, your world citizens, your pets, your children, your future great-great-great-grandchildren, the animals, all the harmless, meek, weak, innocent animals. These are all my people. I want to save them all yesterday already. I can't tell any otherwise. Even if we have another alternative plan to save the planet without going the whole country vegan, how? How many more people have to die? You understand me? For that, because of meat diet, because of the harmful effect of meat industry. How many more countries have to be eroded, financially kaput, for a piece of meat that we put in our mouth? How many more islands, nations have to sink for that piece of meat that we put in our mouth? How many millions more refugees, climate refugees, we want to look at for that piece of meat that we put in our mouth? How many billions more animals we want to see cram, suffer, agonizing in those cram, small crate factory we want to see? For that little piece of meat that we put in our mouth, that we could change it. We have tofu, we have all kind of protein nowadays even. It's not like we're starving without meat. It's not. It's not necessary at all to eat meat. Besides, it's poisonous. It's been proven already. Not to talk about climate change, climate refugees or anything. How many more patients we want to see languishing in the hospitals between life and death, or death because of that piece of meat that we put in our mouth. How many more families we want to break up due to this kind of disease and death caused by meat? How many more children we want to see suffer with heart disease, cancers at young age already because of meat diet? How many more family we want to see childless because women who eat meat have very less chance to conceive children? And then how many of this young aspiring mother we want to see going through, this kind of poke and pigs, what they call IVF, pregnancy, it's a painful procedure for husband and wife who have no children, have to go through like artificial insemination. It's very painful, time-consuming, agonizing, and suffering. And the hope is not 100% even. Not like you spend a lot of money, a lot of time, stressful, fighting inside with each other even because of stress for a child. Not that you go through all that and then you have a child 100%. No, not all of them are working. And how much more suffering we want to see just for that piece of meat that we could change for a better piece of protein. It's the same protein, it's just one a second hand from animals, the others direct from what the animal eat and digest it and then become the meat. It's such a waste. And how much more energies we want to waste into producing meat. How much more grains, food we want to waste to raise animals at the cost of starvation of millions of other people. Right now we have 1 billion people already go back from hunger. Every 5 seconds a child dies from hunger. Every 5 seconds. While I'm sitting here talking to you, how many children dying or dead already? How many more we want to see? How long we can afford to bargain in the face of this suffering of our own kind and of the animals, of the environment? I can go on forever, but I didn't prepare my speech. It's all really not worth it. It's all really a degrading choice to eat meat. We can't bargain. We can't say, well, let's take it easy. We probably have a better idea, a better plan than be vegan. What better plan? What better plan? Even if we have better plan, suppose we have better plan, should we choose it? Should we choose a better plan than vegan, which save billions of lives, save the animals, save our children, save our planet? Should we choose a second plan? A plan B? There is no plan B. Even if there is a plan B, it's not humane to choose a plan in disregarding the suffering of our own kind, of other beings on this planet, and of the danger that we're facing, the climate change, which will easily destroy the whole planet. And, probably all or most of the beings on this planet. Sometimes people say that the meat industry, being so powerful as it is, they can lobby anything, lobby government, lobby Congress, lobby Parliament even, to support their business. To them, it's just business. But to the people, to the consumers, it's life and death. It's suffering or happiness. It's intelligence or dull-wittedness. It's not a business. A business should be providing to the people what they need to benefit them. And then, meanwhile, benefit yourself as well. That should be a good business. A business is not to give people poison either ignorantly or purposely to cause them harm, sickness, suffering, agony in any kind, just to profit ourselves. That is not a proper business. For a Christian, for a Muslim, for a Buddhist, for a Jain, for a Sikh, none of us, none of these people should do any of this kind of business. Business to kill people, business to harm people, business to kill the innocent animals, they are no good business. They are contrary to God's will, and thus we should avoid. Yes. I told you, meat industry very powerful. They can buy the government, lobby the parliament, bypass Congress. What do you think? Huh? Why there's so many advertisements about meat and milk everywhere? Even I didn't know that milk was harmful to human health until recently that we do research. And when we had mad cow disease, in those times even, they even say, oh, milk has nothing to do with mad cow disease. Milk is safe. And people believe it. How? How can you take something safe from something sick? And mad cow disease is not curable even. It's deadly. It's fatal. Every time. So how many more people we want to die for this piece of meat that we put in our mouth? How many children we want to kill for that piece of meat that we put in our mouth that we could even change for tofu or, gluten or any other things, and still stay healthy, happy, and better even. Do you understand? This is a question we should ask ourselves. No plan B. No, never. Now that we know the truth, we just speak it out. No plan B, no compromise. Whatever we say, if it concerns to people's life, children's health, families' happiness, we have to do it wholeheartedly. Some young people die now, young people even die from flu. Imagine how their parents suffer. Imagine how their sister, brothers suffer. Some pregnant women die with full of hope in them. Hope for the child to be born in their family, to bring happiness to her husband, to the parents, to grandmother, father. Just die like that. Flu, swine flu. For the piece of meat that we want to put in our mouth, which is filthy, poisonous, bloody, inhumane. So there's no plan B. Is there?
No.
Okay. First of all, and foremost of all, we should use government system to encourage new project, like new level of citizen cooperation. Namely, we must let people know it's urgent now and it's time to stop global crisis. Time is short and we must all act as one to save our world from disappearing, to save our lives and all the lives on the planet. Everything else takes too long. I have told everybody many times, technology takes too long. Even if it helps, it takes so long. So the fastest and easiest way is to stop animal products and to stop consumption of it. Then we will have more time to develop better technology and scientific advancements. If we stop livestock raising and cruel practice on human and animals, the result will be miracle. The result will be almost immediately, within few weeks. If everybody stop eating meat right now, 8 weeks' time, the weather will change into a benevolent one, immediately changing. Everything that has been damaged will be returned to normal in 8 weeks' time. If everybody on the planet stop eating meat and turn into compassionate heart, then the result will be immediately. It's just like we want to go south, but we are heading north. So the only way to see the south is to turn to the opposite direction and head south. So the way we are doing right now, we are killing animals, killing humans. It's not benevolent. It's not respecting lives. It's wrong. So if we want the opposite effect for ourselves, for our life, we have to do the opposite. That is very simple and logical. And everyone understands that. Thank you so much. In September 2008, Dr. Rajendra Pachauri, head of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, he's the one who got Nobel Peace Prize together with Vice President Al Gore and others. He stated that scientists had called to tell him that the emissions from livestock were much higher than previously estimated. You see, before they said it was 18%. In the Livestock Long Shadow Report, 2006. But now the emissions from animal farming are actually higher than that. As far as how much higher, they are not still very sure. But Dr. Colin Campbell, the bestseller of nutritional biochemist book, he said that his colleagues found that 50% plus of total greenhouse gas emissions right now are coming from livestock raising. And that is not even the sure percentage yet, you see. And Dr. Campbell revealed that this information is not yet the highest that they have estimated, that they have researched. They think would be more, okay. And he has revealed this information to us in an interview with the Supreme Master Television. Right now, the climate scientists are telling us more and more that if we reduce livestock industry, we reduce methane. And that is the most immediate way to cool the planet, because CO2 from fossil fuel may take tens of thousands of years, you see, to leave the atmosphere and cool the planet, according to the research. But methane is 23 times more potent, hotter than CO2. And they dissipate average over 10 years or 20 years. So the report from IPCC scientist Dr. Kirk Smith in USA said that methane is a much hotter gas than currently reported, yes. He said that it could be 60 to 100 times hotter than CO2, average over 20 years. So methane goes out in the atmosphere in 9 to 15 years, disappear, compared to up to thousands of years for CO2. So if methane is reduced, the warming will be reduced immediately. You understand the logic, yes? Because CO2 stay longer in the atmosphere, but methane go and disappear quick. So the way we reduce the methane is by reducing animal agriculture. If we ban meat, ban livestock raising, then the methane gas will be cut, for up to date, at least 50%. Can you imagine? It's a very big chunk. And then the planet will be cool immediately. Compared to CO2, it takes 10,000 of years to cool off. Right now, the most problem gas that hit the planet is methane, you see, because it's a lot of them. According to the scientists, it's already 50%. That they say more than 50% even, you see. So if we stop methane, meaning stop the animal rising, then we stop 50%. They say just 50%, at least 50%. Oil is not the worst. So, although we don't want oil to continue, we can have oil even. We can have oil if that helps the Mexican to become more prosperous and self-dependent, self-sustained. Because oil is not the worst thing. Oil is not the only thing, and it's not the worst thing that damages our planet. It is the livestock industry. It's actually the most polluting, the most disease-producing, the most energy-consuming, and the most greenhouse gas emitting industries that exist. The United Nations report called Livestock Long Shadow states that the farm animal industry emits more greenhouse gases than all the transportation on Earth combined. And according to the Nobel Prize-winning Dr. Rajendra Pachauri, chairman of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, who himself is a vegetarian, he said meat production is extremely carbon intensive. This is partly because of the pollution cycles, including refrigeration, transportation, etc., not to mention destroying the forest for grazing land, for pasture land, and all the costs or the carbon emitting from disease causing and curing, etc., etc. That's why I said, just leave the meat alone and we have everything else. Even oil is fine. Even oil, if we have it, we can use it until we have something better for our planet. But if we stop the animal raising, stop animal product, then we cut a big percentage, 80% of pollution to our planet, and stop 80% of global warming. So we can continue to have oil and cars. I know people will be surprised hearing me saying this, but no, it is true like that, because we have not invented enough instrument for transportation and other uses. So we may continue to use the oil if we have it. Of course, the better if we don't use, but at the moment we must use it. And if we just leave all the meat animal production alone, then we can use anything. And Mexico can make use of this advantage of oil to elevate the standard of living of the people. So what I say is, stop the meat production, which will bring great benefit to the environment of your country. Since Mexico is also involved in the livestock industry, there is also sustainable resource development as an alternative to oil as well, if we have it quick enough. You see, your country already has begun this with a large wind energy project near the city of La Ventosas, which I understand mean the windy. Sustainable energy in general is also showing itself to be very profitable and job producing to people. So there can be both economic and environmental benefit from developing sustainable energy. And the earth will be protected. But animals industry is the number one enemy of our survival. We could change in order to help solve the climate problem. Just leave one piece of meat and we have everything else as it is right now, and more later on, as the forest will regain its strength and grow back to lushful situation again, and then attract more rain and protect the soil and cool the planet. As I said already, CO2 will linger too long, up to 10,000 years in the atmosphere, but methane dissipate quickly. And the most factor that contribute to our global warming right now is methane. And methane comes from livestock rising. Do you see my logic? Yes. Yes? Okay, good. So if we cut the methane, the planet cool down quick. If we cut CO2 and still keep the methane, then it doesn't help much. Besides, we cannot cut CO2 that quick, because we don't have other technology invention right now to replace the one that we are having. How many electric cars you see running on your United States street yet? How many? Maybe 1, 2, 3. Huh? How much CO2 does it cut? Not much. But the methane pollution came from livestock raising. So if we stop that, no more heating. No more heating of the planet. Because if we stop livestock raising, that means stop also forest clearance. Because most of forest clearance is for planting stuff for animals. So we water the plant from the root is the best. If we cut meat diet, everything else cut. No more transportation for meat, no more deep freeze for meat, no more manure run off into our rivers and contaminate our river. And because of that, we have to use more chemical to clean it. So we just give more and more chemical into our body. And then if no more meat, then no more forest clearing. Then we don't even need to plant trees that much. The forest will recover itself, as we have seen in some area. Just leave it alone. Nature will take care, truly. All we do is just work with nature, and nature will take care of everything. God doesn't put us on this planet to die. God provides everything already. It's just we overspend. We do not heed the advice of the Bible. In the Bible, God say, I made all the herbs in the field, plants that bear fruit. That shall be your food. I made also all the plants for the animals. That shall be their food. God never say, I made animal for you to eat. It's so clear. I wonder why nobody saw it. God even say, do not kill all the she-goat and the he-bullock to make offering to me, because your hands are full of innocent blood. Repent yourself. Do not kill any more innocent lives. Otherwise, if you pray, I turn my head away from you. No? Are there such things in the Bible?
Yes, it's in the Bible.
Reverend, tell me. I'm not making it up.
I think it was Isaiah.
Absolutely, you've quoted it absolutely. The rabbi just told us it was Isaiah.
Wow, he knows it by heart. But I know it's there because I read it when I was young. I was a kid. I read the Bibles. I sleep with it. I don't probably remember as much as the Reverend does, but I do know. I do know that God do not tell us to eat meat. He say meat for the belly for the meat. God shall destroy both meat and them. Do not be among meat eater and alcohol drinkers. Not to be among them even, not to talk about being one ourselves. So in all kind of direction, religious, scientific, and health, meat is a no-no. So from now on, we have to realize that. And please tell everybody else. I know you know it already. Please just don't be just a vegetarian. Be a heroic vegetarian. Be out there. Tell people. Do something. I need your help. Thank you. The only way to avoid the point of no return, climate catastrophe, is to take action on the most climatically disastrous course of all, that is, meat production. By now, we have all the evidence, all the information to safely say so. The livestock industry is the top greenhouse gas generator. The last published findings from the United Nations in 2006 told us that the livestock industry causes greenhouse gas emissions more than all the world's transportation sectors combined. Airplane, train, cars, motorcycles, etc. altogether. Updated calculations tell us that the livestock industry is responsible for at least 50% of the global warming. There are 3 reasons why the livestock industry is the first cause of global warming that we should focus on. First, livestock is the primary human-caused emitter of methane. And methane not only has 72 times the heat-trapping ability it is a shorter-lived gas. This means that it will leave the atmosphere much faster than CO2 within just a decade, as opposed to thousands of years you need for CO2. Therefore, eliminating methane by eliminating livestock breeding is the fastest way to cool the planet. Yeah, we have to tackle the most important of emitter. Next, the pollutant known as aerosols, you already know, or particles released along with CO2 from burning fossil fuels actually have a cooling effect. Some scientists say it is roughly canceling out the warming effect of CO2. Therefore, much of the warming we are seeing may actually be due to methane. In fact, it is due to methane, and its number one source, that is animal raising. Third, NASA scientists are paying increasing attention to another very serious source of global warming, that is black carbon. I'm sure you know that. This is the particulate matter known as soot, S-O-O-T, and it is 680 times more heat trapping than CO2. So black carbon is landing on the ice in Antarctica, absorbing the sun's heat and accelerating the ice melt. The majority of the black carbon particles in Antarctica are coming from where? South American rainforests that are burned for the livestock industry. Now we're going somewhere. We must urgently address methane and black carbon, both outcomes of the meat industry. Immediately we have to tackle it. I pray all wise leaders will halt the little meat practice, which is the main force driving us to the point of no return right now. Otherwise, all other efforts to decarbonize our economies may be cancelled out or never have a chance to materialize in the first place.
Is this latest news about NASA discovery of methane related to the Mars people living underground?
Could be, yes. You know, because they have to pump their toxic gases from their activities from underground to the surface of Mars so that they can detox and purify the air that they breathe.
Thank you, Master. Next question. Since how long have Martians been living underground?
Since after the mass destruction on Mars, they have begun to live underground ever since then.
I see.
Yeah.
Thank you. And the Martians currently living underground, are they aware of what had happened in their planet history?
They have been told. They pass on the knowledge of what happened of their planet to their children and grandchildren. Even though it's 40 million years ago, they retain the history of what happened so that the descendants know how to take care of what they have and not to be careless and not to be so destructive anymore, but more virtue and, spiritual. They must live like that. Okay?
Yes, and Master, during the destruction of the planet, how did they die?
Oh, terrible. Let me check. The mass extinction came, they die, not only human beings and there, but the animals also, they die by two main poisonous gases, namely hydrogen sulfide and nitrous oxide, plus methane as the third cause. But hydrogen sulfide and methane from the livestock began to warm the climate and then trigger more other gases from the ocean, from permafrost and glacier around the planet, just like what's happening to our planet right now. Let me see if anything else I need to... Okay, I check, okay? One moment. I'm checking if anything else. They die, agonizing death, not like quick death, but slow. It takes men and animals around 4 days to die a very painful and suffocating slow death. As the destruction happened too fast, no one can help anyone. 90% of the populations, including animals, they die. And then sometimes later, another 5% also die. And then a while later, 3.8% also die. Only 0.2% of them escape, around 2 million, into the underground caves. And then they dig deeper, longer, and they live next to the underground river. And that's how they survive.
Scientists reported that billions of years ago, Venus could have had oceans like Earth, but they dried up partly because Venus was so close to the sun. Still, the presence of water could have mean that there was physical life there, and scientists believe today that there's microbial life. Was Venus ever like Earth, sustaining life?
Yes, it was, yes. It was once a beautiful planet, and now it's no more. There's no life up there at all. Not life as we know of, yeah? It's a pity, no?
Thank you, Master.
Mars is known today as the red planet and Venus is boiling hot. Did Venus ever have a landscape similar to Earth with thriving life and green hills, blue seas, or did it have a different landscape?
Yes, they have similar. Our neighboring planet, like Venus, Mars, have similar landscape. Some are more strikingly exquisite, more beautiful.
Hi, Master.
Hi.
How technologically advanced were the Venusians before the mass destruction?
Very advanced, much more than us. Sadly, only technology advancement. Not much else, and that's why. You see, they have been a little bit too materialistic, huh? They have been very proud of their own achievements and pay very little attention to the divine nature of the inner kingdom. They were too proud. They had too much advantages from technology, and they think they are God. Yes? They thought they could do anything they want. In fact, almost physically.
Thank you, Master.
Welcome.
Master, did the Venus inhabitants have a solution like being vegan before the mass extinction?
No. They know nothing about vegan, about compassion, about the interconnectedness between lives. And that's why they faced such a terrible end. Worse than Mars.
And what kind of disaster occurred on Venus?
Explosive and poisonous gases from livestock as well, and that in turn trigger other gases, from all sides. And then they just explode within a few weeks, like 8 or 9 weeks. Everything was completely destroyed, and they are annihilated because of the big explosion from under the earth, from like a volcanic type, and gas from the ocean, and of course from the animal. They all together exploded the whole planet. The whole population died because of explosive and poisonous gases.
Thank you, Master.
You are welcome. It's sad.
Hi, Master.
Hi.
There seems to be many planets that have undergone this planet-threatening crisis that Earth is going through due to the eating habits of its inhabitants. Why is meat eating such a hindrance to the evolution of the planet?
Well, you see, only the low-level consciousness of those planets that have inhabitants with low-level consciousness have been destroyed or ruined. Not the high-level one, huh?
Okay.
Of course, there are countless of them. I'm very sorry to say. Maybe I have it here somewhere. Oh. Around 5 billion planets have been destroyed or in similar fate as Venus or Mars. Yes.
Did Maya instigate this same test over all planets, with the meat-eating habit and the destruction of the planet?
Yes, yes. That's a Maya work, of course. The king of the devils. They are chief of the negative force. They want to destroy the children of God. And if people are not listening to the divine intuition and or spiritual guidance, then of course they fall into this trap. Surprisingly, so easy to fall. Yeah.
Understand. Thank you, Master.
You are welcome.
And were you ever on Venus?
No. No. But I have been on other Venus. Yeah? Not that Venus. Yeah. There were 4 Venuses in our galaxy. Yeah? They are so named because they are similar. Yes? Similar in size, similar landscape, similar beauty. They call them Venus. Yeah, okay? Yes. And 2 of them were destroyed. One is destroyed, we still see now, with the hot gases all over on the planet, and all the life is terminated. There's another Venus also destroyed, completely exploded, completely gone to dust in a sudden moment. And now we still have 2 more Venuses, which are very beautiful, much more advanced in technology than our planet. And luckily, on the Venus, the population up there, only 1/4 of them are eating meat, and also very sparsome. And the rest, 3/4, they're all vegetarian or vegan. Therefore, they still can have their planet. The other 2 planets, one is still there but boiling hot, and the other completely incinerated by explosive gas.
Understand.
Yeah. Because there's some poisonous gas that has been built up also underneath of the surface of that Venus, the second one. Not the hot one now, but the second one, the exploded one. Poisonous gas has been built up inside the core of that planet. The planet has an empty core inside, and the poisonous gas has also been built up in there, as well as built up in the atmosphere of the planet. And that's why that Venus, I just say the 4th Venus, was completely gone, like dust.
Understand.
Exploded, completely disappear. And the whole planet, not just people. They didn't have time at all. Within a few weeks' time, the whole planet was destroyed. Yes, destroyed. Because of the poisonous gases, yes, from livestock. Of course, it's trigger other gases, from the ocean, from the warm ocean. As you know, it's similar to our planetary problem right now. It happened too fast for them. And they did not really have time. They did not really care about this vegetarian diet. They did not really go into any spiritual dimension. Mars was a little better, you see. But this one, no. In this Venus, the hot Venus, even core of the planet was also full now of hot and poisonous gas, so no life can exist. Maybe those microscopic life, but it's useless for us or for any human to dwell there, if you could even get there. The size of the disintegrated Venus is similar to Mars. But the other two Venus are very cool, very good. They have no war at all. And they have less meat-eater population, you see. So more or less, they are balanced with the karmic law, yes. You see, some time ago, I said if we have like 2/3 of the planet population vegetarian, then we could have saved the planet too. But now it's too late. Now we need the whole planet population to be compassionate. Vegan would be the best. As long as we still have cruelty and immoral conduct, especially cruelty, especially killing action between each other or to a lesser, weaker beings like animals. If any planet who have harbor or who practice such a lifestyle, they will also have to face the threat of extinction, like what we are doing right now. Let's hope our planet survives first. Huh? And then, after that, everyone will be astonished about what kind of invention we will come to be able to experience. And then we can experience other planetary scenery or visit them, or they can visit us also. And we can have interplanetary connection. It will be very nice.
I have a question about the swine flu. I would like to know that are those planets who were destroyed in the past, like Venus or Mars, have they been experiencing such pandemics like swine flu?
Oh, yes, and more, yes. And the swine flu is nothing yet, baby. We will experience worse than that if we don't change our way of life. If we don't turn around and walk in the opposite direction, then we are heading toward destruction of all kinds. You see, planetary warming, yes, methane gas from all sides now, not just from livestock, but because the livestock is trigger methane gas from all sides, from the riverbed, from the permafrost, from the bed of the ocean, from the mountains, from the dying forests. Do you understand? And even living forests, alive forests, if the atmosphere is too hot, the forests also cannot absorb CO2. And they could even release CO2 themselves as well. So we are surrounded by trouble. There's only one escape route that I have told you already. I wish there are several. It's only one. We wedge. That's the path to go. Then maybe we still can have time.
The head of Germany's Environmental Protection Agency also recommended everybody reduce their meat to pre-war levels in order to reduce emissions.
Not just reduce, just eliminate it. If you can eat it 4 days a week, why not just eat the whole week? Anyway, it's worth the sacrifice, even if you call that a sacrifice. All you do is just exchange that piece of meat for everything else that you treasure, including your children, your planet, yes, your health, the air that you breathe, the water that you drink, the car that you even can continue to drive for a while until we change it, you know? Because if we eliminate animal livestock rising, then all the methane, the major cause of global warming, will be gone. And then we have time to eliminate the leftover of the CO2. And also nature will be healthy and absorb it all again. Not to talk about karma, spiritual or moral standard, nothing. Physically speaking, it is like that. Scientifically, just No meat, no heat. Very simple. Please be quick. Please be quick before it's too late. I mean, the sooner the better, you know? Because even if it doesn't affect you, it affects millions of other people. Every day, even, for example, Bangladesh, you know, every 6 minutes when I'm sitting here laughing with you, one house gone from their life. The house that they treasure, that they have memories, and the children and grandchildren are going to grow up in it. It's not just a nobody house. It is something in there. It's a history of a human's lifetime of work and emotion and love and family ties, you know? It's not just a number, like one house, and then 1 hour, 11 house, and keep counting like that. Even if it doesn't concern us, how can we sit here and eat meat and then everybody else die for that little piece of meat that we eat? And then we don't even need to eat it. You won't die. You will only be more healthy, healthier, happier. And you can save the whole human race and animals as well. Every day up to 270 species are erased every day. Nobody care or what. I mean, wait until it become our turn, then we say, oh, it's really urgent or what? No, we should not wait. Everybody else's disaster should be our disaster. Everybody else's house should be like our house. And when it's damaged, it should pain us just the same, like if we lose it. And their lives lost also. Their life saving is lost. And they come out and they become homeless and become like a beggar, have to rely on handout to live. You know, there's no more dignity for them. They're hardworking people, they have home before. And because of the meat diet, everybody is losing their home in many different countries. 40 nations sinking or sunk already. Small nations. Maybe small, but it's a nation, no? Yes. I mean, how small is small? Monaco, like 5 square kilometers? Yeah? How small is Vatican? Huh? 1 square mile, right? Okay? How small can an island be? Many islands bigger than that already sunk beneath the sea. Nobody cares because we don't live there. We don't see anything. Oh, they speak Chinese, I don't understand. Oh, they speak Kiribati or whatever, we don't understand. Not possible. If we are human, we must have a heart. Otherwise, we are not human. We are like stone, yeah? Even stone have heart, if they can show it. So it's about time people should live like a human. Huh? If we call ourselves human, we have to live a humane life, no? Even before our house collapses, we have to consider other people's house and stop the cause of it. We can do it. Not like we cannot. We have the means to. Especially the people who have house and live in so-called civilized society, they have money. Vegetable is even cheaper than meat, for God's sake. No, it's not. Sorry. Because the subsidy is for meat. Because if they don't subsidize the meat industry, the hamburger will cost like $30. Instead, it costs only 99 cents. So everybody eat because it's cheap also. You see what I mean? And everybody else who eat meat or don't eat meat has to subsidize for that money. And then they buy it, they think it's cheap. They're eating their own money too. See what I mean? It's all cheating. It's all illusion. It's nothing as real as it looks. So instead of subsidize the meat industry, must subsidize organic, vegan, organic farming. So it's all in the hands of the lawmaker and us who have to go out and inform people as much as we can. But you see, how many people can we inform with flyers and all that, you know? Even with the Supreme Master television, some people don't have TV. Some remote area, they don't have TV. Or they don't have the mean for computer. Or if they have computer, it's too slow or something. They can't get it. It's all kind of thing I can never take care enough, I'm telling you. I did everything I can, but still somewhere is lacking something. You know, that they couldn't get it. They couldn't get the TV, the news. You see what I mean? So you cannot blame the people. They don't know. Just one lead to another, and they've been, indoctrinated into eating meat and drinking milk. Otherwise, they don't have enough muscle, protein, and all that. People are poor people. You know, nobody knows because everybody believes what the experts say, and the expert, they lobby and the government to say that. And the government, let's face it, the government also did not know. I'm telling you the truth. It's not like every person sitting in the government office and know everything about nutrition and milk, and they don't know also. So if the meat industry lobbies some of the people in the government, and that people say, his meat is good, and everybody, okay, good. Protein, meat eating not only is detrimental to our health, it is the cause for us that we cannot get in touch with our true self also. You see, that's why most people, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. They don't know why. Yeah, sometimes when their stomachs are empty and they're sincere or they're in sorrow, they're more connected with the inside. Yeah, and when their time is smooth and they drink and eat, they don't know anything anymore. So they disconnect again. You see, even the people who are not practice the Kuan method, they're connected now and again with the divine. Therefore, now and again, they can sustain their life on this planet and then continue like that. That's why they don't live very well, but they do live. You see what I mean? Like a person who is sick, but not completely dead. Still can move around, but not completely well. That's like that. See? So the person who completely connect with himself and practice that connection more and more every day, that he has more abundance, yes, more health, yes, more clarity in the head, more wisdom, more compassion, which is himself. Compassion is not from heaven. Compassion is not from the vegetarian diet. Compassion is inherent within all of us. The vegetarian diet is just a proof of it, that you have compassion, that you don't want to eat others.
How come they survive and the other Venuses didn't? How
Yes.
has their evolution allowed them to continue?
Yeah, because they are more virtuous. The other two Venus, they were living a vicious life. They live in vice. They do not know God. They do not respect anything that they don't see. And they concentrate more on developing their material comfort. Therefore, they had too much comfort. They had anything they want. Everything is almost like heavenly life, except devoid of spiritual, moral, and divine quality. And not only that, they persecuted anyone who dare to oppose them or mention anything about the invisible quality of heaven, yes, or about God. Anyone who is living a virtuous life, this is like state enemy. They hunt them down, they kill them mercilessly. It's a terrifying place to live for anyone who has a little conscience. Their conscience is zero, yes? Their moral standard is zero. Their tolerance for God and divinity is zero. So it was because of this. And the meat diet, it combined that destroyed the other two planets. Whereas the two surviving planets, although they still have some percentage of meat eater, 1/4, 25% people still have meat, but a very less degree. Not like they have it every day or 3 meals a day. It's not like that. Even then, they have reverence in their heart, yes? And they are trying to also go into more merciful lifestyle, compassionate vegan diet. So the balance is very, very well in check, you see? 3/4 are vegetarian, vegan, and 1/4 is meat eater, but very less degree, very less quantity. And then they all worship God, they revered the spiritual persons or beings or practitioners. They encourage moral behavior within their society, and they teach moral obligation, compassionate lifestyle, merciful attitude in school, from kindergarten already. by example and by positive encouragement. In school, they teach already children how to be kind to each other, how to be kind to their planet, how to be kind to other co-inhabitants, like animals, you see? So animals and men living in harmony with each other. And children have been taught already moral standard, mercy behavior, since childhood already. So they grow up, become wonderful citizens, yes? The meat eater and the meat provider, they live in remote area, shamefully, far away from the sight of the people. And they don't encourage that in the public. Just like right now we forbid smoking in the public, over there forbid meat eating in public. Therefore, even the meat eater, they feel ashamed and they know it's wrong. And even they still have some, but they always try to minimize it. You understand me? Yes?
Yes, Master.
Meat eater over there is allowed, but it's like outcast, and they feel it. But some people are not as developed as others, so they just tolerate it. But because the numbers do not outweigh the vegetarian, therefore their planet merit and peace atmosphere is prevalent. Their planetary merit is in balance, overweight balance. Yes. So even 1/4 of the people are meat eater, very little or less, but still they are covered by the 3/4 of the other benevolent energy. You see what I mean? Yes.
Yes, Master.
And because the society as a whole already support compassionate vegan diet, and other meat eater, even though they do it, but they know it's wrong. And so they have repentance in their heart also. So that's the way they preserve their planet. Not because they wanted to, maybe, because they know it's a way of life and they have been brought up like that since they were children. So they become very powerful in spiritual merit, and thus they can protect their planet. If all this Venus population, of course, 100% of them vegetarian or vegan, then their planet will even be better. Better than just survive and prosper and progress and technologically superior like that, but will be superior. Will be just like heaven in the physical dimension. Right now it's like, of course, like 80% heaven, hey? Or 70%. But if they all become vegan, then of course the planet will experience a much more upliftment in the spiritual dimension. And as the planet lifts itself up, as the population lift their consciousness again up, there will be more and more miracles happen. There will be more internet access to all the corners of the world that has not been before. Or there will be more satellite service in different countries, in different corners of different countries. Then the more and more people will be informed and more will be uplifted. But nevertheless, their soul listen, because we are interconnected. And the frequencies of radio or televisions are also permeated in the atmosphere. This kind of positive energy and constructive news, it will reach the recess of their mind, and they will somehow get it also, without even watching the Supreme Master television, but in some way more subtle. Then they will also awaken. We just need to be patient and praying a lot to all the gods and goddesses, all the divine beings, all the angels, to help us, yes, to manifest themselves physically onto this planet and help each and every citizen of the world to awaken to a compassionate lifestyle so that they can, escape from this dilemma that is terrifying everybody at the moment, be it swine flu or planetary climate change. Yes, so be it.
Yes, Master.
We have all the gods to thank, okay? Other gods.
Some of the benefits of a vegetarian diet: lowers blood pressure, lowers cholesterol levels, reduces type 2 diabetes, prevents stroke conditions, reverses atherosclerosis, reduces heart disease risk 50%, reduces heart surgery risk 80%, prevents many forms of cancer, stronger immune system, increases life expectancy up to 15 years, higher IQ, saves 70% of a total cost of $40 trillion for reducing global warming, uses 4.5 times less land to grow food, conserves up to 70% clean water, saves 80% of the cleared Amazonian rainforest from animal grazing, a solution for world hunger, free up 3.4 billion hectares of land, free up 760 million tons of grain every year, half the world's grain supply, consumes 1/3 fossil fuels of those used for meat production, reduces pollution from untreated animal waste, maintains cleaner air, saves 4.5 tons of emissions per US household per year, stop 80% of global warming, plus more. Save your life. Be veg. Go green. For more urgent information, please visit www.suprememastertv.com/beveg.
All information concerning the scientific evidence of climate change and its solution is in Supreme Master Ching Hai's book, From Crisis to Peace. The Organic Vegan Way is the answer. Free to download at crisis2peace.org.
Benevolentes televidentes, apreciamos su compañía en el episodio de hoy titulado Salvemos nuestro planeta. Elimina la producción de carne, extractos de charlas de la maestra suprema Ching Hai. Parte 3 de 3 en Entre la maestra y los discípulos. Que sus hermosos corazones irradien amor ilimitado hacia todos los seres.
May your beautiful hearts radiate boundless love towards all beings. For more details, please visit suprememastertv.com/BMD.